Tucked away in the rural corners of Ohio lies a ghost town with a name that sends shivers down the spine: Helltown. Officially known as Boston Township, this once thriving settlement has become a symbol of eerie abandonment and chilling folklore. The town earned its sinister nickname in the 1970s after the federal government ordered the evacuation of residents to make way for a national park, a project that never came to fruition. What remains today are desolate homes, empty streets, and a looming sense of unease. But the story doesn't end there. Over the years, Helltown has become the subject of countless ghost stories, legends of satanic rituals, and unexplained phenomena. What draws people to this desolate place? And more importantly, what keeps them up at night after they leave? Long before it became known as Helltown, Boston Township was a quiet, unassuming village founded in the early 1800s. Settlers built a tight-knit community, surrounded by Ohio's dense forests and rolling hills. The town flourished for over a century, but everything changed in the 1970s when the federal government stepped in. Under the guise of expanding the Cuyahoga Valley National Park, officials used eminent domain to force residents to leave their homes. Families who had lived there for generations were uprooted almost overnight. Houses were boarded up and plans for the park stalled, leaving the town in a state of eerie suspension. Abandoned homes became overgrown with weeds, streets fell silent, and what was once a peaceful village began to take on a far darker reputation. As the years passed, Helltown transformed from a forgotten community into a hotspot for urban legends. Stories of satanic rituals in the woods began to circulate, with rumors of cult activity drawing the curious and the brave. It's said that strange symbols can still be found carved into the trees, and some claim to hear chants echoing through the forest at night. The infamous End of the World Road, a winding, narrow path that abruptly stops at a sheer drop, became a centerpiece of these tales, with many swearing it's a place of spiritual unease. Other legends include sightings of ghostly figures wandering the deserted streets and phantom lights moving through the abandoned church. Over time, these stories have merged into a tapestry of terror, cementing Helltown as one of Ohio's most haunted places. Helltown's reputation as a supernatural hotspot has attracted countless paranormal investigators over the years, each leaving with more questions than answers. Some report capturing eerie voices on audio equipment, while others describe unexplainable cold spots and feelings of being watched. One particularly chilling account involves a group of explorers who claimed their flashlight beams dimmed as they approached an abandoned building, only to hear footsteps following them as they fled. Residents from nearby towns often speak of strange lights appearing in the woods, moving in erratic patterns as if controlled by an unseen force. Even skeptics admit that the oppressive atmosphere of Helltown is hard to ignore. Whether it's the silence that blankets the town or the darkened windows of its crumbling homes, there's something undeniably unsettling about this place. But how much of Helltown's reputation is based on fact, and how much is fiction? Some of the legends can be traced back to misunderstandings or exaggerated tales. The End of the World Road, for instance, is simply an abrupt end to an unfinished path, though its eerie setting has made it a focal point for ghost stories. As for the supposed satanic rituals, local historians suggest that these rumors were likely fueled by the town's abandoned state and the imagination of thrill seekers. However, even the most rational explanations can't account for the consistent reports of paranormal activity. It's this blend of verifiable history and unexplainable events that makes Helltown such a fascinating and terrifying place. Whether you believe in the supernatural or see Helltown as a relic of governmental neglect, one thing is certain: this abandoned village continues to capture the imagination of all who hear its story. The mix of desolation, folklore, and eerie beauty makes it a place unlike any other. Helltown stands as a reminder of how quickly the familiar can become the unknown, and how history and legend often collide in the most haunting of ways. Would you dare to visit Helltown? Or would its chilling reputation keep you far away?